Have you ever wondered why some people seem unfazed by life's adversities while others crumble under the slightest pressure? This question might have crossed your mind when you witnessed the calm demeanor of certain individuals in the face of strife. Their resilience and strength could make one wonder, what's their secret? How do they maintain such composure amidst the tumultuous waves of life? This is where the concept of letting go comes into play. It's a fundamental aspect of a philosophy embraced by these individuals, a philosophy that guides their actions, their reactions, and how they perceive the world around them. This philosophy is known as Stoicism. Stoicism, a school of thought that originated in ancient Greece, teaches us that we cannot control everything that happens to us. What we can control, however, is how we respond to these events. It promotes the idea that we should focus on the things within our control and let go of the rest. And this, my friends, is the art of letting go. Think about a time when a situation didn't go as planned, causing you stress, anxiety, or disappointment. Now imagine if you could detach yourself from the outcome, focusing instead on your actions and reactions. How different would your emotional state be? This is the essence of letting go. It's not about being indifferent or unfeeling, rather, it's about understanding what's within your control and what's not, and choosing to focus your energy on the former. It's about accepting the impermanence of life, understanding that change is the only constant, and learning to flow with it rather than against it. It's about embracing the unpredictability of life and understanding that we can't control everything in our path, but what we can do is adapt, learn, and grow from these experiences. We can choose to let go of the things that don't serve us and focus on the things that do. So the next time you find yourself in a difficult situation, remember this philosophy. Remember the art of letting go. Their secret could very well lie in the ancient philosophy of Stoicism and one of its key principles, the art of letting go. But what exactly is Stoicism, and how does it advocate for detachment and letting go? Stoicism, a school of philosophy established in Athens by Zeno of Citium around 350 years before Christ, is a philosophy of personal ethics informed by a system of logic and views on the natural world. Stoicism teaches us to maintain a will that is in accordance with nature. It suggests that we should accept life as it is, not as we wish it to be. The Stoics were firm believers in fate. They argued that the universe is a web of cause and effect, a complex tapestry where every thread is interconnected. Our lives, they suggested, are threads within this tapestry, woven into the greater pattern beyond our control. But Stoicism doesn't argue for a passive resignation to fate. Instead, it advocates for a different kind of control over our reactions and attitudes. Stoicism suggests that while we cannot control what happens to us, we can control how we respond. Imagine a ship caught in a storm. The storm, in this case, is an external event beyond the control of the ship's crew. But the crew can control their reactions. They can choose to panic, or they can choose to remain calm, to work together, and to do their best to navigate the storm. In the same way, Stoicism teaches us to navigate the storms of our lives. This is where the principle of detachment comes in. Stoicism encourages us to detach from the things we cannot control, to let them go. It asks us to focus instead on what we can control, our reactions, our attitudes, our actions. It's about understanding the difference between the storm and the crew, the external events, and our internal reactions. This is a radical form of empowerment. It suggests that no matter what happens to us, we always have a choice. We can choose to be upset, or we can choose to accept, to let go, to move forward. In essence, Stoicism is about understanding what we can control, what we can't, and letting go of the latter. Now that we understand Stoicism, how does it teach us to detach and let go? Stoic philosophy is a guide to living a life of tranquility, resilience, and personal growth. Three key principles of Stoicism can be particularly helpful in teaching us how to detach and let go. These are the dichotomy of control, the concept of impermanence, and the practice of negative visualization. The dichotomy of control is a simple but profound principle. It suggests that some things are within our control while others are not. Our thoughts, beliefs, and actions, they're in our control. The weather, the past, other people's behavior, not so much. By focusing our energy on what we can control and accepting what we can't, we foster resilience and tranquility. We learn to let go of the futile struggle to control the uncontrollable. Next, the Stoics introduced the concept of impermanence. Nothing lasts forever. Not our possessions, not our relationships, not even our lives. Recognizing and accepting this truth can be unsettling, but it also frees us from the grip of attachment. When we acknowledge that everything we value is transient, we learn to appreciate it without clinging to it. We learn to let go. Finally, there's negative visualization. This involves imagining the loss of what we value. It might sound counterproductive, but it's a powerful tool for fostering detachment. By regularly visualizing the loss of our possessions, relationships, or even our own health, we become more aware of their impermanence. We also become more resilient as we're mentally prepared for potential losses. It's like a vaccination against the pain of loss. We learn to let go. By practicing these Stoic principles, we learn to detach from our desire to control everything, thus mastering the art of letting go. Each of these principles offers a different path to the same destination, a life of peace and contentment, unburdened by the weight of attachment. And that, in essence, is what Stoicism is all about. But how can we apply these Stoic principles in our daily life? Well, there's a world of practicality in Stoicism, making it a philosophy that's truly lived, not just pondered. Let's delve into some real-life scenarios where you can incorporate Stoic wisdom. Firstly, practicing negative visualization. This may sound somewhat gloomy, but it's actually a powerful tool for fostering gratitude and resilience. Let's say you're stuck in traffic, late for a meeting, and the frustration is mounting. Instead of succumbing to anger, visualize a scenario where you don't have a car, or perhaps where you're physically unable to drive. Suddenly that traffic jam isn't all that bad, is it? You begin to appreciate what you have and the stress melts away. Next, accepting impermanence. All things in life are transient, and Stoics find peace in this understanding. Consider a situation where you're struggling with the end of a cherished relationship. Instead of clinging to the past, a Stoic would remind themselves that change is a natural part of life. This doesn't mean you ignore your feelings, but rather, you acknowledge them, understand them, and then let them pass. It's about finding serenity in the flow of life's ever-changing currents. Finally, understanding the dichotomy of control. Stoics believe that some things are within our control, and others are not. Imagine you're worried about an upcoming job interview. You can't control the interviewer's thoughts or the outcome, but you can control your preparation, your attitude, and your responses. By focusing on what you can control, you eliminate unnecessary worry and cultivate a sense of inner calm. These are just a few examples of how Stoicism can be applied in our daily life. It's not about suppressing our emotions, but rather understanding them, managing them, and ultimately using them as guides rather than letting them control us. Remember, the goal is not to become emotionless, but to manage our emotions better. So what happens when we truly learn to let go? It's a question that may seem daunting at first, but the answer is quite liberating. When we master the art of letting go, we unlock a myriad of benefits that contribute to our overall well-being. It's like shedding a heavy coat that we've been carrying around, unaware of how much it's been weighing us down. One of the most immediate benefits is a significant reduction in anxiety. We live in a world that constantly demands our attention, our emotions, our time. There's always something to worry about, something to stress over. Yet, when we learn to let go, we learn to release these anxieties. We learn to accept that there are things beyond our control. And in that acceptance, we find relief. But the benefits don't stop at reduced anxiety. Another key advantage is increased resilience. The world is unpredictable and often challenging. When we cling to expectations or desires, we set ourselves up for disappointment and pain. But by letting go, we develop a resilience that allows us to navigate life's ups and downs with a certain grace. We become like a tree in the wind, bending but not breaking, weathering the storm but still standing strong. Finally, there's an undeniable improvement in mental well-being. When we're not consumed by worry or held back by fear, our minds are free to focus on the things that truly matter. We can engage more fully with the world around us, build deeper relationships, and pursue our passions with a clear mind and heart. These benefits all point to one key conclusion: mastering the art of letting go is crucial for our well-being. It's not a process that happens overnight, but through understanding and practicing Stoic principles, we can make strides towards achieving this. Letting go isn't about losing control, it's about gaining peace. Embrace Stoicism, and you'll find that peace within yourself.